moving over to Minnesota. How wild is it to be a Minnesota Timberwolves fan and finally, just finally, now being at a point where you don't want to throw your TV out the window? That's where we are. We haven't checked in on the Minnesota Timberwolves in a hot minute. But there's some interesting things brewing, happening here under the radar that not enough people are talking about. And I'm not talking about how the Wolves seem to be waiting for Morey and the Sixers to get desperate enough to trade Ben for a handful of cast-offs, a couple of picks, and, like a luxury ice fishing house on Lake Calhoun. This team right now is very streaky, prone to 4 and 5 game win streaks, loss streaks. They're currently 4-1 in their last 5, having lost a buzzer beater by Brandon Ingram. Yes, I said it. My guy, Brandon Ingram. He did it. I thought about what I said about him the other day, and I thought I mushed this. And Ant Edwards is just out here at the podium every single night, guaranteeing that this team is making it to the playoffs. Which, of course, makes this team pretty different than all of the previous versions of the Wolves since KG left town. Wolves don't just look different. They actually are different. They have a new ownership group, and they're reinvigorating the way that the Wolves do business. And the latest evidence that business is not as usual in Minnesota. The Wolves just hired this guy, Marquise Watts, an executive within Clutch Group. Oh, yes. To be their new Chief Experience Officer. What the fuck is that? Say what? The Chief Experiences Officer's job is to redefine the player experience in Minnesota. It appears to have not been a great experience there so far. If you don't know what a Chief Experience Officer is, join the club. It's never been created before. The press release stated that Watts will bring his extensive brand and sports management experience following his time at Under Armour, Adidas, and most recently serving as president of brand strategy for the Clutch Sports Group. Watt himself, who also played basketball D2 in Minnesota, said, "I'm very excited to join the Timberwolves and the Lynx organization. The leadership here in Minnesota is serious about building a world-class organization. Much to untap, much to explore culturally and experientially for our players and our community. This is just the beginning. There's a lot to look forward to." 2 things worth noting here. First, Clutch Sports represents a lot of major NBA players. Watt played a huge role there. He led marketing and corporate partnership efforts, aligning athletes with some of the biggest brands in the world. At Adidas, he oversaw the signings of some of the NBA's biggest and WNBA's top players while managing partnerships with the league. He played an integral role in the team that launched Under Armour basketball. That's the one that Steph's with. Getting someone with intimate connection to Rich Paul. Pretty fucking impressive. Pretty integral, if you ask me. Oh, yeah. By the way, do you know who is represented by Clutch Sports besides Ben Simmons? Anthony Edwards. Yes, he is. Second, it's a sign to me that Mark Lore and A-Rod are dead serious about changing the culture of the Minnesota Timberwolves, which is hard to do. And his job, Watt, is clearly not just to cater to existing players like Ant and Karl Anthony Towns, but to make the team a desirable landing spot for all free agents. How do you do that? You roll the red carpet out, baby, 1/2 mile to 1 mile long, and then just put a dump truck of cash on it so you can swim in it on the way into the Target Center in the form of connections, big sponsorship deals, and if you build that, free agents will come, especially with guys like Karl Anthony Towns and Ant Edwards there already. So for once, not business as usual in Minnesota. And if you're Minnesota, as a basketball fan, God bless you. It's another sign this isn't your daddy's or your granddaddy's Minnesota Timberwolves fans team. This is not your daddy's or your granddaddy's Timberwolves team. That's all the time that we have for the Heat Check. We'll be back Monday with a new episode. Do not forget to download, subscribe, tell your friends, every single one of them. Please, please, please follow us on social. My Twitter got hacked, so I don't know. We'll see. At This Heat Check and at Trysta Krick on TikTok, Instagram. We'll see about Twitter. We'll see you Monday, knuckleheads.